Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. Again, I am Cali Coaster Punk Vid Music on YouTube. You can find me on other social media outlets, which I'm sure if you click the links, you'll be able to find your way to. And I hope you don't lose yourself down the rabbit hole because I'd really love to see you again. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my previous video series, Disneyland, the first 70 years, Disney parks, celebrating the 70th anniversary of the Disneyland Resort. And though Disneyland is not the first internationally recognized theme park, it is the first theme park of its kind to be still in operation. And that is a huge milestone. I know there were some themes and ideas and thoughts that were brought up in my previous videos that made it seem like that I don't like Disney at all, and that is not the case. I love Disneyland. I love Disney parks. I love what they're about. I love what they're trying to do. I just have some ideas of my own on things that they could have done throughout the years to make it better without having to eliminate key attractions, destroy opening day attractions, destroy opening day experiences, remove certain things that people actually liked, and just to try to save a few bucks and for them to be able to bring in new experiences, which I'm not saying their newer experiences are bad. My point is maybe they could have waited a little bit longer to bring those newer experiences and found other ways to increase revenue for those newer experiences rather than just leveling land, leveling buildings, and rebuilding sections of parks, creating new sections of parks where they didn't necessarily need to be created yet. I'm not saying, like I said, I don't think any of those ideas are bad, but their timing and execution was not necessarily the best. And that being said, one of the huge things that draws me to Disney parks, yeah, I'm wearing an AFI t-shirt. I'm a punk rocker. I'm anti-capitalism, anti-globalism, what have you. But Disney parks doesn't care about that. At least that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a place for everybody to gather, have a good time, have some fun, and it wasn't necessarily just about creating revenue. It was about creating an adventure, creating excitement, creating fun. And that's kind of where I fit in with this. I've been a musician since over 30 years. I was in elementary school when I first picked up a saxophone and became serious about music. I still play the saxophone to this day. I'm learning guitar. I'm learning to DJ. I'm learning all these other things. Why? Because all of that are aspects of a show. And that's what Disney was all about. He was a showman first and foremost. Theme park, entrepreneur, entertainment guru second. He was all about the show. He was all about putting on a spectacle, transforming or transplanting people from the everyday to the extraordinary. And that's what a musician, a showman, that's what they're all about. Just taking you out of your norm and transplanting you and placing you in a situation that you never thought you imagine yourself being in ever. And a lot of that got lost within the development of the Disney parks and specifically Disneyland, California, and with the creation of Euro Disney. Not saying that they didn't do the best that they could with what they had, but they could have done a lot better. And that's kind of what my previous videos were about, things that they could have done. But you know what they say, hindsight is 2020. Moving beyond that, growing up as a child in Southern California, having access to some of the amazing theme park roller coaster experiences that I did have, I went to college in the very early 2000s. When I say very early 2000s, I graduated high school 2001, went to community college right after that, did a few semesters. My goal was to get a degree in engineering. My ultimate dream was to be a roller coaster designer or theme park engineer in some regard. But I forgot two important things. I'm not really good at book learning, and math and science are my nemesis. Always have been, and I think they always will be. And those are two very important subjects when it comes to engineering, especially when it comes to safety and design and when you're putting people in situations. So I gravitated towards music and entertainment and show. But before I was able to stick with the college thing and try to shift my focus to music and entertainment, I actually ended up dropping out of college. Haven't been back since, but I've never given up on my dream to be a musician, put on a show, be on stage, entertain people. That's always what I've been about, and that's always what Disney parks have been about from day one. Their ultimate goal is to make sure that every guest is leaving feeling as if they have been entertained, they have had a good time, they have had fun. It's no different for a musician, for a DJ, for anybody that's on stage putting on any kind of show. And that's one of the reasons that Disney has always referred to their staff within the parks as cast members, because they're part of a cast putting on a show, putting on a spectacle, creating something for you. And that's what casts do. So with that being said, like, I've, in my own free time, designed some roller coaster rides through No Limits Coaster 1 and 2, Roller Coaster Tycoon, starting with the 1999 release of Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic, all the way through Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and more recently, haven't gotten to the second version, but I did some stuff on Planet Coaster, which I'm probably going to be sharing soon, but you can find some of my theme park and roller coaster creations throughout my channels on YouTube. Again, that's Punkvid Music, Punkvid 619, and Cali Coaster. All three of those channels have some of my designs, some of my ideas. Some of them even have some music that I've been working on as a aspiring DJ, music writer, producer, what have you. You see all the lights going on behind me. It's not just because I like the lights, because I do. I love Christmas. Christmas has always been one of my favorite seasons throughout the year, because that's the one time of year that you can truly transform any space into a spectacle that masks reality. I mean, I live in the rural area in a double wide with a, separated garage. But come Christmas, it doesn't even look like that. And I can post pictures if you like. I can show you what I do for Christmas. I put lights everywhere. I try to theme things. Christmas is just the most themed holiday that we have. I love Halloween, but it's a lot easier to find Christmas decorations than it is Halloween decorations. Most Halloween decorations are a lot of DIY, and when you have to work a full-time job to keep the bills paid, you don't really have a lot of time for that DIY stuff. So Christmas is just way easier to decorate and prepare for. This is my studio behind me. This is my workspace. This is my happy place. I got some stage lights back there. I got my DJ booth set up here. got Christmas lights, which they're studio lights. Yes, they're sold at Christmas time and they look a lot like Christmas lights, but to me, when they're in this space, they're just studio lights. They're ambient lighting to help create an atmosphere, help create an environment, take me into my creative side. And that's what they do. That's what they're about. For me, they're not Christmas lights anymore. But I digress. Again, I do a lot of digressing. You probably noticed that, but that's just who I am. I'm a very animated person. I'm a very live person. I'm a very real person, which is one of the reasons that I always felt that Disney Imagineering and show production in general is where I belong. But like I said, I struggled a lot with schooling, especially with the math and science. They're not my friends. I don't like them. They don't like me. We don't get along. So I've been looking for ways to get around that to try to get into the show design and production aspect of what I want to do. Because ultimately, I love to entertain people. Honestly, that's something that I discovered shortly after college is I love to be on stage. I love to make people laugh. I love to make people smile. I love to make people have a good time. I love to take people out of their normal, drab, everyday lives and put them in a place that they probably never imagined that they'd be in, which is what Disney does too. That's why I love Disney parks. I've been drawn to them, like I said, since I was very, 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 very little. Space Mountain, believe it or not, has been in and out of my dreams since I was in elementary school. Even though I know what it looks like now with the lights on through applications and programs like No Limits, there have been a couple of people that have recreated the actual layout and experience of Space Mountain, where you can see the entire journey with the lights on. And I still have dreams where I imagine other adventures throughout that concrete dome, I guess is what we can call it, because it's not really a dome, it's not a sphere, it's not a cube, it's its own entity. Anyway, there are ways that you can experience Space Mountain with the lights on, so the entire layout, experience the entire thing without having to try to imagine what it looks like, because it's there for you to enjoy. But I still have dreams because there's still things that I see, even though it's already there, it's already built. I still see other ways that it can be enjoyed and be experienced and be retracked, be rethemed. And if you check out one of my videos, I actually did an entire ride experience designed in Planet Coaster. I did the entire soundtrack myself. I did the entire safety spiel. The whole 9 yards was designed by me and me alone. And it's called Diamond Mine. And it's on my YouTube channel. There are different segments of it. If you want to watch the full thing, that's available. If you just want to see the queue and hear the queue audio, that's available. If you just want to ride the ride from a POV, that's available too. But again, all the audio, the track design, the theming, everything was done by me alone. It was a passion project of mine, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. I had a lot of fun creating it. I learned a lot of things while creating it, and I, as a former ride operator, incorporated a lot of things that I learned as a ride operator, especially when it comes to safety spills, and that's in that video too. So please, please check out Diamond Mine. It's on my YouTube channel. I may post the link down below. Also, if you check down below, there's a like, there's a subscribe, and there's a comment section. I'd love to hear your feedback. Again, congratulations, Disneyland, 70 years. You go. Keep doing what you're doing. I have ideas to make it better. I don't know if you want to hear from me. I don't care if you want to hear from me, but I still have my own ideas, and I'm sure a lot of fans do too. But just please think before you remove attractions. That's all I ask. Skyway, Disneyland, People Mover, Disneyland. We miss both of you. Really wish you had consulted the guests before deciding to revamp and remove them. Honestly, I miss traveling through the middle of the Matterhorn and being able to look down and see the inside of the mountain and watch the bobsleds going around, seeing the Yetis, hearing the screams. That was honestly one of the coolest theme park experiences back in the 80s and 90s for me growing up. And that no longer exists. So please think before you decide to remove, revamp any attraction. Later.